Hey guys, welcome back for another video. It is Friday the 13th as I'm recording this, and got the proper shirt for it because I'm going to a screening of the original Friday the 13th with a special guest, Robbi Morgan, who played Annie. And yeah, that was my first crush, like my first horror movie, crush. First time I ever saw the original. Yeah, so pretty freaking happy that because she's kind of a rare name, especially around LA. So yeah, got my Friday poster. I got like 8x10 of her, hoping she can write, she can sign some stuff. So I mean, it's not guaranteed, but hey, we're gonna try for it. So, and this will be like, I already kind of lost track. This will be like my third or fourth time watching the original Friday on screen on a Friday the 13th, which is pretty cool. So yeah, enough wasting time. It's a midnight screening, kind of early, but let's get going. Okay guys, parked about a block away from the New Art Theater. It's actually down that way. Yeah, about like a block away. So you guys can see it's 10:23. So yeah, pretty early, but I did get some food, so I'm about to eat and yeah, kill some time, just hang out in the car for a little bit and then go check it out and see what's going on.
Right now's a good time because the light's red. Quick. Oh, well, this guy's turning right.
That would leave each other like this.
Savini killed.
Yes.
There you go.
That was fun. You were so cute.
Yes. So, well, just I think my name will just be good enough for this.
Name your characters.
There you go.
Creepy,
Yeah.
but I was jealous. That's the young teenage Mike talking, by the way.
Yes. That was, he directed Rex to do that, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
Never thought I'd meet you. Thank you so much for coming out here tonight.
You're welcome. We just flew in from New York, actually, this afternoon. Like, we were in New York this morning.
Wow,
And,
man, you must be tired. We're grateful.
I am, but I'm happy to be here and meet everybody. And
Hope it's a little.
oh my, I'm going to sign right under Tom.
Sure. I have to get you on this.
Some interesting difficulties, but fine. We'll get this started now. A few quick announcements before we get the show started tonight. Tonight's show is a Shriekfest Presents screening. 2019 was the 19th year for Shriekfest, Los Angeles' longest-running horror sci-fi film festival. 2020 is going to be the 20-year anniversary. We have a lot of surprises in store for you. Submissions are open for the late September or October fest, so please check out shriekfest.com on how to submit your screenplays and feature films. You are the future and the present of horror. We want to see what you have to scare us. So 2020 is going to be a really big year, and the next Shriekfest Presents is John Carpenter's Christine on January 24th, 35 millimeter. So that's going to be a fun show, and I want to thank my dead bodies here. I told you there'd be some dead teenagers here tonight. Teenagers, wink wink, as they always are in these films. Okay, a few quick announcements before we get this big show started tonight. In the event of a fire or other emergency, like a psycho killer attack, please be aware of the emergency exits beside me on the right and left. You can also use the exits you enter the theater through. If you're in the pay lot that's on Idaho, that's right off of Sawtell, the one that says they ticket at 2 a.m., they ticket exactly at 2 a.m. Please make sure you move your car before then, but do it after a kill scene so you don't miss any of the good, gory stuff. Also, the concession stand will close in about 10 to 15 minutes, so if you want any last-minute munchies, please go get them now. Also, during the duration of the film, please silence your cell phones because there are no cell phones in 1980. Now, we like to do some trivia before these screenings here, Shriekfest Presents. We have some great prizes for you tonight. So raise your hand, and I'll do my best to get to the... Didn't make it to the end, but who got to experience that, in person, what terrified me so much. And I'm so excited to welcome up to the stage tonight Robbi Morgan, who played Annie in Friday the 13th.
Woo! Hello, everyone. Friday the 13th. Happy Friday.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, my pleasure.
On a Friday the 13th, no less.
Yes.
And I have to say, I was going through the theater's history, and I don't think we have ever played the original.
Really?
Which totally shocks me, because we could not find it anywhere on the history of this 90-year-old theater. So if this is the first time we have shown the original, then I'm glad we're finally here, right on the edge of the 40th anniversary, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. Is there anyone here who hasn't seen the movie?
Me too.
Really? Oh, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
So I have a few questions before we get the movie started.
Sure.
A simple one to start out, Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Was this experience good luck or bad luck for you?
Well, it was good luck. Very good luck. But at the time, I was 17, and I was an actress. I was auditioning all the time, and I got this little part and was just thrilled to have a job, and had no idea. None of us had any idea. We were just all so glad to be working, And then when it came out, holy cow, my brother lived here in California at the time, and he called me, and I was still living in New Jersey, and he went, "Robbi, do you have any idea the business that Friday the 13th is doing?" And I was like, "Really?" Had no idea. So, definitely good luck. Friday the 13th, my lucky day.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Mine too now. I consider Friday the 13th, whenever it falls during the year, second Halloween. So it's always I think for us horror fans, we love it just like Halloween.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the cast, a lot of the young cast who came into this film, they were theater actors in the New York area, and a lot of them were pretty new. I mean, Kevin Bacon had one major movie as well prior, but there were a lot of new faces in this. However, at the time of Friday's filming, you were a veteran of acting, I would say.
Yes.
And one really notable early role of yours, I do have to mention tonight, for those of you who do not know this or who have not seen it, is What's the Matter with Helen? I believe 1972 with Shelley Winters.
Yes, and Debbie Reynolds and Dennis Weaver.
Yes.
Yes.
That was, for you Friday fans who haven't seen it, you really should. It is an awesome companion piece.
Yes.
In a way, I feel. Because, those movies at that time, Shelley Winters was always pretty playing these crazy roles, these crazy murderous women.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. So it is definitely a nice companion piece. How was that for
Oh,
you?
well, it was incredible. What's the matter with Helen? At the time, I was 9 years old, and I was also doing an off-Broadway show at the time, playing Shirley Temple. And so in the movie, Debbie Reynolds has a dancing school. And in her recital, one little girl plays Shirley Temple, which I thought that's who I was going to get, because that's what I was doing in New York. And another little girl plays Mae West. And so when I came out here to California for the audition, they asked me, if I could do a Mae West voice, and I didn't even know who Mae West was, but my brother got me ready for it, and so I went in there and I said lines like, when I'm good, I'm very good, but when I'm bad, I'm better, or is that a pistol in your pocket? Are you happy to see me? Anyway, so I did the Mae West part, and I sang this big long song, but Shelley Winters was crazy. It's a horror movie. Shelley Winters was crazy. And in one of the big dance numbers, all of us kids were doing this like military tap number. They had a professional screamer off camera with a megaphone. And when you see this movie, you'll see they didn't tell us that there was going to be blood-curdling screams coming from over there. And so as all of us kids are dancing, we're tap dancing. You see our faces kind of just go, and then come back to camera because they wanted all of our reactions. I mean, holy shit! Somebody was screaming off over there. So, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do that.
Yes, I
movie.
highly recommend catching it. They have it for rent at our friend Cinephile Video next door.
Yeah, and it was Debbie Reynolds' last movie before she went on that long sabbatical, and then before so it's a musical and it's scary.
Yes, and Robbi has the best song and dance number in the film. It's the centerpiece of the film. It's a showstopper. You're gonna love it.
It's called "Oh You Nasty Man."
It is
And
very
you know
risque.
what? And I have to fill you guys in that, as a kid, there's this one part where, you saw Friday the 13th at 8. And so when I saw What's the Matter with Helen, there's this one part where this guy he's got hard sole shoes on, and you just hear him clicking walk, walk, click, click, walking up these stairs. And all he is saying is, Mrs. Helen Hill, click, 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 Mrs. Helen Hill. And to this day, my brother calls me. I wouldn't walk up my front stairs at my house when I was a kid. It scared the shit out of me. And to this day, my brother calls me up and says, Mrs. Helen Hill. I mean, to this day, it's crazy what gets you.
Yeah.
I mean, the creepiest of... It's nothing, really. We
like to be scared. That's why we do it. We love to get scared.
Yeah.
This film, again, it was a big hit, but it did cause a lot of controversy. Siskel and Ebert really hated this film. And in fact, in later 1980, they did a special episodes of their sneak preview show that was called Women in Danger. And the whole episode was just to warn people away from seeing the slasher movies that were coming out in the era. A lot of Jamie Lee, they loved Halloween, but they were trashing Prom Night and Terror Train. I Spit on Your Grave, but really, they really hated Friday the 13th, and in particular, in that episode of Women in Danger, they do show your scene of being chased in their episode, and then they discuss it, and they discuss how much they like your character, how independent and great she is, but they treated it like a real murder, like they were so offended by what you're subjected to. And, we look at it now and it really does seem a lot more innocent, but back then there was really a shock that this delivered to the culture and to the critics and to audiences. And I'm just curious, did you have any effect? I know Betsy Palmer had a letter writing campaign against her, but did any of the controversy affect you, or were you far enough removed from it to just enjoy watching the success of it?
Yes, I absolutely was, plenty far and removed from it. So yeah, I wasn't affected by that at all.
Good.
Not at all.
And I'm also glad just to see you here alive. Because, I cried for you. I cried for you in my bedroom as a preteen, I was so sad what happened to you, but I'm so happy you look so good and you're back here and joining us tonight.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out.
Now, I do want to get a few audience questions, but a few really quick questions first.
Okay.
And this time I'm going to address Annie.
All right.
I would like to ask Annie a few questions.
Okay.
So you were supposed to be we hear you're a really good cook, which is why you're hired at Camp Crystal Lake. What's your favorite dish to make?
Without a doubt, my favorite dish, and I'm sure all the campers would have loved my spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Because my spaghetti is my favorite thing to eat to this day. So I would have made spaghetti for all the campers. Spaghetti and meatballs.
And that's my new Friday the 13th food, spaghetti. Now, had you made
It's my favorite, right, honey? Isn't it the silliest thing that I like spaghetti? I love it. I love it.
So, next, Annie, I want to know, if you had made it to the camp,
Yes?
was there any guy there you would have had your eye on more than the others?
Oh, I've never been asked that. Well, Bill was really cute. He was really cute. Now, I didn't work with any of the other actors. So, I didn't make it to the camp. But I think Bill was pretty cute.
Unfortunately, Bill does not last through the night either.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Right.
And finally, would you have been lifelong friends with that group of kids?
Sure.
Would you have
They
fit in
were
with them?
they were great.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would have been friends with them forever. And it's so fun, we were just at the camp. You all have to come to the camp. You all have to come to New Jersey to the camp in May. It's the 40th anniversary and the camp is open. And it's a lottery, so you got to send an email. And if you are eligible, you can buy a ticket and come. And Janine was there. And I had never met Janine Taylor, which was so crazy. After all these years, we hugged and kissed in the kitchen, and there we were. So Janine and Adrian and a whole bunch of us are there. It's really fun.
Yes, this is, next year is going to be a big year for Friday the 13th with the 40th anniversary. I'm just glad we got to kick-start the festivities a few weeks early.
Could you believe it's 40 years
Yeah.
since this movie came out? I'm not that old.
We still want to go to summer camp. So let's take a few questions. I do see a hand right here in the center, yeah.
No, I really didn't. Some of the other cast members did, though. I mean, with the blood, But I didn't. I had a ball. I jumped out of that Jeep myself, and we shot my death scene once. We shot it once because we were losing, it was late in the day, and we were losing the light. And also, the blood that Tom Savini was using at the time stained your skin. So it was kind of weird and kind of, we did it. They got it, and then I jumped on a scooter, on Tom Savini's scooter, and I went right to a shower to get the blood off, so it didn't stain my skin. So no, I didn't get hurt at all.
I do think Bill got hurt though from the blood in the eye.
In his eye, yes.
Yeah, there's a question up here.
Well, that's right. That is one story. I really don't get recognized at Vaughn's and stuff like that. But, yeah. But it's such a fun thing to have in my back pocket, especially for my kids. And there is a story that I swear to you, I was, taking a shower and I heard a knock at the door. Someone actually came to my door with something that he wanted signed. I mean, I was in a towel and towel in my, I was like, I saw pictures in his hand, you know? I was like, you've got to be kidding. You've come to my door? Like, you're crazy, you know? So that was kind of creepy and weird. Absolutely, yes. I absolutely did sign. Yeah. But, you know, for my kids, you know, even today, my son, they were screening Friday on some channel, you know, and he sent me videos of him going, Mom, run, Mom, you know. And then when they cut he was so disappointed. He had a friend over, and when he was so disappointed that they cut showing the blood. I think it must have been on regular television. He's like, oh no, they cut it. So, yeah.
Yes, there's a question on the aisle.
Okay, Robbi, for the 40th next year, do you have any other upcoming conventions that you're going to do?
Well, I'm going to be at the camp. I'm going to be in New Jersey at that camp. And it's so much fun. I mean, it's crazy. You have to come. You all have to come to the camp. So that's where I'll be. And I was just in Germany doing a convention there. And there's talk of another convention in Manchester for the 40th anniversary. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going to that. But everybody's so nice over there. I can't believe how many people Friday the 13th has touched. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's touched me deeply.
Yeah.
Very deeply. There's a hand in the back.
So one person you got to work with was Walt Gorney.
Yes.
Was he a real character in real life? Like, do you have any good memories with him?
I do. He was really quiet.
Yeah.
He was a really, like, sweet, soft-spoken guy, you know, where he was just kind of just there doing his job. But when he turned into Crazy Ralph, it was frightening. It was really frightening. You would, you know, because he just stepped right into that character, and it was creepy as hell. Really creepy. Even the way he rode the bike, it was creepy. You know, don't you think? Just his posture on the bike was weird. Yeah. Nice guy.
Just another bit of trivia, I'm sure most of you know this, but the narration at the beginning of Friday the 13th Part 7 telling the story is Walt Gorney. Doing a narration just for the intro pre-credit sequence.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I hate to break it to you, but you know these horror movies scare me. So I haven't seen any of the other Friday the 13ths. Really, I get so scared. I didn't get scared doing the movie, but then when I went to the screening the first time and saw it with the music, scared me to death. And that's when I started having some nightmares. Yeah, but not until I saw it with the music.
Oh yeah, that music. We had Harry Manfredini here for our last screening of Jason Lives.
Yeah.
And he told us a lot about doing that, and I can't underestimate just how important that is to this film's success.
Yeah.
Hopefully
absolutely.
It will be blasting tonight. If not, I'm going to go out there and tell them to crank it, because we want to hear that score as loud as possible.
Yeah.
So, a question up here.
Well, it scared the crap out of me too, because you got to remember, I mean, I shot those couple of days, you know. I didn't meet Betsy Palmer, unfortunately, because again, it was so low budget, you know. Sean Cunningham was sort of like, it was just like this, you know. There we were, and he was like, Tasso, you know, go get the knife, you know. No, I didn't. I really didn't until I saw the movie. And you know, well, you'll all see. I don't want to give it away, but I didn't know, and it was great. Really great, as you'll all see.
I think one thing that makes this film really special and really makes it different from the others, and again, it's because before these were Jason movies, and ultimately these did become Jason films, and I love Jason just like everybody else, but the first few really were kind of sold and played as murder movies. it was really the murder, and you don't even see the killer for most of the film. And even though we do get Jason in the sequel, up until the final act, it's filmed very much like the original, where you just see a hand and a glimpse of the body. And oddly enough, the only other one in the whole series that really did that was part 5, which up until the final act, all those murders are filmed with just a hand and an arm and a weapon intruding into the frame.
Oh, really?
So it's interesting that not many films in the series have really taken that style. But there's something really scary about those original murder movies when they were sold like that one. That's what we were really scared of, because we're not scared of Jason yet, and we are frightened by this killer when we see what a nut they are, but still, there's something more primal and unsettling about not having any idea of who is committing these murders. That's just my own take.
I think it's right on. Absolutely.
Do we have any more questions? Any more? One more. We'll do this as the last question right there in the center.
If you're scared of the Friday the 13th movies, what kind of movies do you like?
Okay. Well, I love Shawshank Redemption. That's a favorite. I like movies like Shutter Island was one of my favorites. Shutter Island was so scary, wasn't it? Shutter Island was scary. But I love. My son is a Navy pilot, so a lot of the movies that were on a loop growing up, and while my kids were growing up, was like Apollo 13 was on a lot over and over and over, and Forrest Gump, of course, and I'm a big musical fan. So I sing and I dance, and so I love musicals. But I'm trying to think what are some of my other favorites. Shawshank is like way up there on the list. And what else, honey? Musicals. What else? Oh, I love movies like Meet Joe Black. Yeah, I love after talking about like life after death. I like those kind of movies too. And but yeah, those are the kind of movies.
More mainstream, maybe not as much midnight movies.
Right.
But we do thank you for coming tonight to our midnight movie.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for coming out, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Robbi Morgan. I want to thank Shriekfest for helping support these screenings here at the New Art. I want to thank the New Art for allowing us to put on these crazy horror parties late at night. I want to thank Darren from Copy Depot, our neighbor right past Cinephile Video, for he always does the screenplays that we give out at these screenings. I want to thank Kevin Mangold, who works on these awesome background screens that we have during these. And I also have to say, anybody watch American Horror Story 1984?
Yes.
Isn't it great how that whole season seemed to be inspired basically by Friday the 13th? Like, this film is inspired so much. Even though it's called 1984, it was so Friday the 13th. And there was even that incredible Friday the 13th scene. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? They replay the final scene from Friday the 13th. Well, Kevin Mangold over here was the new Jason kid who comes out of the lake and pulls Mr. Jingles into the lake in American Horror Story. So thank you for helping carrying the legacy on. This film and series just won't stop. I know it's in a bit of legal limbo right now, but we know it's going to be back. We know there's going to be a 13th installment.
Oh, absolutely.
And hopefully someday, and maybe I'll even get a shot to do part 23. We'll find out what Annie's family members are up to. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes. And
Merry Christmas.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday.
Hey guys, had a freaking blast checking out Friday the 13th on a Friday the 13th. And with special guest Robbi Morgan, who of course you guys know played Annie. And yeah, now I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff I got signed. And we'll start off with the autographs. I had Robbi Morgan sign this 8x10. And this 8x10. And this 8x10. and I had to have her write the classic line on at least one of them. So I had her sign "You're an American Original" on this one. And yeah, it was funny because I was telling her like I can't friggin' decide like what I wanted you on, so just sign whatever. She's just sign whichever one you want, like take your pick. And yeah, she was like nice enough to just she's like, I'll sign all of them, it's fine. So yeah, like I said, rare appearance in LA. So yeah, obviously as you can tell, I was super excited. I've always loved the Annie character in the movie. I wish she would have lived a little bit longer, but I mean, I don't know. She kind of, in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but she could have very well been the final girl in the original Friday, because she kind of had like the same morals and values as like Alice. She was like, kind of, at least from what we saw, she was like pretty, unlike the other characters as far as being like sex crazed and all that stuff. So yeah, got some cool Annie autographs here. And as you guys know, as far as autograph collecting goes, this here's my pride and joy. It was started back in 2013, and yeah, it's definitely been around some places. So I was freaking happy as hell because I finally got one of my absolute favorite Friday the 13th characters, Annie, which played by Robbi Morgan, of course. And she decided to sign right below the makeup artist who did her famous kill, Tom Savini. So I thought that was a nice little touch. And yeah, definitely, obviously always looking, always on the lookout for more signatures to add on here. But this was definitely a bucket list one for me. So pretty freaking happy. And there you guys have it. Finally was able to get Annie, Robbi Morgan, on my Friday the 13th poster. She was like definitely one for the bucket list. So freaking, I was like so stoked, yeah, to meet her. So, finally, it took me out like, I don't know how many years. I started the poster in like 2013. So yeah, 6 years, 6 long years, waiting patiently for her to do something in LA, and she finally had a chance to do something. So yeah, it's pretty fun screening, pretty fun time, So yeah, thank you guys for watching as always. That's going to do it for this video, and I'll see you guys for the next one.